He served as the 40th President of the United States and is the only president born in the state of Illinois. Today, we're visiting the birthplace and boyhood home of Ronald Wilson Reagan. Today, my 2021 summer adventure continues here in the state of Illinois. I'm going to be visiting the birthplace of President Ronald Reagan here in Tampico, Illinois. And then I'm going to make the 30-mile drive over to Dixon, visit his boyhood home. Tampico, Illinois is a really small town with a population of about 800 people. It's located a little over 100 miles west of Chicago, and there's several historic buildings scattered around town. But none are more historic than the second-floor apartment over the First National Bank, where President Ronald Reagan was born on February 6, 1911. In 1906, Jack and Nell Reagan moved into an apartment above a bakery here on Main Street, and both of their sons, Neil and Ronald, were born here. The Reagans lived in the apartment from 1906 until May of 1911, when they moved across the street to a house on Glassburn Street. The family remained here in Tampico until the future president was 4 years old. Then the family moved first to Galesburg, then to Chicago, before eventually settling in Dixon. Today, the bank has been restored to appear as it did back in the 1920s, while the apartment above the bank where the president was born has been restored to look as it did when the Reagans lived there in 1911. The store next to the bank was a grocery store in 1911. Today, it houses the gift shop for the Reagan Birthplace Museum, and that's where I began my tour. Now, before I go any further, I did try to record my tour. There was this rather rude lady who insisted on talking to her companions throughout the entire tour, and she always seemed to position herself directly in front of my camera. No matter where I went, there she was. After a few attempts to get some usable footage, I finally gave up and started taking pictures. So, I'm going to insert a short slideshow here of some of the photos I took, just to give you an idea of where our 40th president was born. A grateful gentleman traveled to Tampico and was holding this sign when President Reagan returned to his birthplace as president. It's now on display inside the Birthplace Museum. This is President Reagan's school grade book, and the president did step here, as evident in this picture. This is the restored teller's cages at the First National Bank. President Reagan was born in the apartment directly above this bank. President Reagan and his co-star from 1951, Bonzo, along with a Ronald Reagan director's chair. Now we move upstairs to the Reagan apartment. None of the furniture in the apartment belonged to the Reagans, but it does appear much as it did when the president was born here in 1911. This is a photo of the Reagan family. The future president is on the front row left, with his hand on his chin. And this is the room where President Ronald Reagan was born February the 6th, 1911. The tour of the Reagan birthplace took about an hour, and our guide was outstanding. He was very knowledgeable about the area history and about the Reagan family and the time that they spent here in Tampico. But it's time to make the 30-mile drive over to Dixon, Illinois, the boyhood home of President Reagan. This is where the future president, by his own admission, would spend his formative years. And just like that, here we are, Dixon, Illinois. But there's one problem. The home is not open on Sundays. Talk about bad planning on my part. So all I could do was walk around the area, take a few pictures. There's a small park located next to the home that has a few benches where you can sit next to a statue of President Reagan. While I was walking around the statue, a lady also visiting came up to me and said, "You know, doesn't look very much like him, does it?" And I have to say, I agree with her. It doesn't. This is the boyhood home of President Ronald Reagan. He lived here from 1920 to 1924. And he once said it's the site of his earliest childhood memories, a place that he recalled with great fondness. All of us have a place we can go back to. Dixon is that place for me. In the early 1980s, friends and supporters of President Reagan formed the Ronald Reagan Home Preservation Foundation, set about preserving and restoring the boyhood home. For the next couple of years, the foundation, with the help of President Reagan and his brother Neil, set about restoring the home to its appearance when the Reagans lived here. The Ronald Reagan Boyhood Home was officially dedicated and opened to the public in 1984. Both President Reagan and his brother Neil attended the dedication ceremony. Both remarked how much it looked and felt like home. I'm going to end this video at President Reagan's boyhood home here in Dixon, Illinois. I just wish that I had planned better. Came on a day when the house was open for tours. But who knows, one day I may be able to return. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to keep up with all of my adventures, be sure to ring that bell and subscribe. Now, it's time for me to continue this adventure. Head on down the road just to see what's around the bend. Until next time, be safe, stay healthy, and above all, be kind. So long, everyone. you.